Come have a seat in the Skald circle, and hear part 1 of the tale of the death of Koschei the Deathless, as told by Casimir. In a certain kingdom there lived a Prince Ivan. He had 3 sisters. The first was Princess Maria, the second was Princess Olga, and the third was Princess Anna. When their father and mother lay at the point of death, they had thus enjoined their son: "Give your sisters in marriage to the very first suitors who come to woo them. Don't go keeping them by you." And then they died, and the prince buried them. And to solace his grief, he went with his sisters into the garden green to stroll. Suddenly the sky was covered by a black cloud. A terrible storm arose. "Let us go home, sisters," he cried. Hardly had they got into the palace when the thunder pealed and the ceiling split open, and into the room where they were came flying a falcon bright. The falcon smote upon the ground and became a brave youth, and said, "Hail, Prince Ivan! Before I came as a guest, but now I have come as a wooer. I wish to propose to your sister, the Princess Maria. If you find favor in the eyes of my sister, I will not interfere with her wishes. Let her marry you, in God's name." The Princess Maria gave her consent. The falcon married her and bore her away into his own realm. Days followed days. Hours chased hours. A whole year passed by. One day Prince Ivan and his 2 sisters went out for a stroll in the garden green. Again arose a storm cloud, with whirlwind and lightning. "Let us go home, sisters," cries the prince. Scarcely had they entered the palace when the thunder crashed, and the roof burst into a blaze. The ceiling split in twain, and in flew an eagle. The eagle smote upon the ground and became a brave youth. "Hail, Prince Ivan! Before I came as a guest, but now I come as a wooer." And he asked for the hand of Princess Olga. Prince Ivan replied, "If you find favor in the eyes of Princess Olga, then let her marry you. I will not interfere with her liberty of choice." The Princess Olga gave her consent and married the eagle. The eagle took her and carried her off to his own kingdom. Another year went by, and Prince Ivan said to his youngest sister, "Let us go out and stroll in the garden green." They strolled about for a time. Again there arose a storm cloud with whirlwind and lightning. "Let us return home, sister," said he. They returned home, but they hadn't had time to sit down when the thunder crashed, the ceiling split open, and in flew a raven. The raven smote upon the floor and became a brave youth. The former youths had been handsome, but this one was handsomer still. "Well, Prince Ivan, before I came as a guest, but now I have come as a wooer. Give me the Princess Anna to wed. I won't interfere with my sister's freedom. If you gain her affections, let her marry you." So the Princess Anna married the raven, and he bore her away into his own realm. And Prince Ivan was left alone. A whole year he lived without his sisters. Then he grew weary and said, "I will set out in search of my sisters." So he got ready for the journey. He rode and rode, and one day he saw a whole army lying dead in the plain. He cried aloud, "If there be a living man there, let him make answer. Who has slain this mighty host?" There replied unto him a living man, "All this mighty host has been slain by the fair Princess Marevna." Prince Ivan rode further on, and came to a white tent, and forth came to meet him the fair Princess Marevna. "Hail, Prince," says she. "Whither does God send you? And is it of your free will or against your will?" Prince Ivan replied, "Not against their will do brave youths ride." "Well, if your business be not pressing, tarry a while in my tent." And Prince Ivan was glad. He spent 2 nights in the tent, and he found favor in the eyes of Princess Marevna, and she married him. The fair Princess Marevna carried him off to her own realm. They spent some time together. Then the princess got into her mind to go a-warring, as princesses are like to do. So she handed over all the housekeeping affairs to Prince Ivan, and gave him these instructions. Go about everywhere. Keep watch over everything. Only do not venture to look into that closet right there. Clearly he could not help doing so. The moment Princess Marevna had gone, he rushed to the closet, pulled open the door, and looked in. There hung Koschei the Deathless, fettered by 12 chains. Then Koschei entreated Prince Ivan, saying, Have pity upon me, and give me to drink water. 10 years long I have been in here in torment, neither eating nor drinking. My throat is utterly dried up. The prince gave him a bucketful of water. He drank it up and asked for more, saying, A single bucket of water will not quench my thirst. Give me more. The prince gave him a second bucketful. Koschei drank it up and asked for a third. And when he swallowed the third bucketful, he regained his former strength, gave his chains a shake, and broke all 12 at once. Thank you, Prince Ivan, cried Koschei the Deathless. Now, you will sooner see your own ears than Princess Marevna. And out of the window he flew in the shape of a terrible whirlwind. And he came upon the Princess Marevna as she was off to war, laid hold of her and carried her off home with him. Prince Ivan wept full sore. He arrayed himself and went out a-wandering, saying to himself, Whatever happens, I will go and look for Princess Marevna. One day passed. Another day passed. At the dawn of the third day he saw a wondrous palace, and by the side of the palace stood an oak, and on the oak sat a falcon bright. Down flew the falcon from the oak, smote upon the ground, turned into a brave youth, and cried aloud, Ha, dear brother-in-law, how deals the Lord with you? Out came running the Princess Maria, joyfully greeted her brother Ivan, and began inquiring after his health, and telling him all about herself. The prince spent 3 days with them. Then he said, I cannot abide with you. I must go in search of my wife, the fair Princess Marevna. Hard it will be for you to find her, answered the falcon. At all events, leave with us your silver spoon. We will look at it and remember you. So the Prince Ivan left his silver spoon at the falcon's, and went on his way again. On he went one day. On he went another day, and by the dawn of the third day he saw a palace still grander than the former one, and hard by the palace stood an oak, and on the oak sat an eagle. Down flew the eagle from the oak, smote upon the ground, and turned into a brave youth, and cried aloud, Rise up, Princess Olga, hither comes our brother dear. Princess Olga immediately ran to meet him, and began kissing him and embracing him, asking after his health, and telling him all about herself. With them Prince Ivan stopped for 3 days. Then he said, I cannot stay here any longer. I'm going to go look for my wife, the fair Princess Marevna. Hard will it be for you to find her, replied the eagle. Leave us with a silver fork. We will look at it and remember you. He left a silver fork behind, and went his way. He travelled 1 day, he travelled 2 days, and on daybreak of the third day he saw a palace grander than the first 2, and near the palace stood an oak, and on the oak sat a raven. Down flew the raven from the oak, smote upon the ground, turned into a brave youth, and cried aloud, Princess Anna, come forth quickly, our brother is coming. Out ran the Princess Anna, greeted him joyfully, and began kissing and embracing him, asking after his health and telling him all about herself. Prince Ivan stayed with them for 3 days, and then he said, Farewell, I am going to go look for my wife, the fair Princess Marevna. Hard will it be for you to find her, replied the raven. Anyhow, leave your silver snuff-box with us. We will look at it and remember you. The prince handed over his silver snuff-box, took his leave, and went his way. 1 day he went, another day he went, and on the third day he came to where Princess Marevna was. She caught sight of her love, flung her arms around his neck, and burst into tears, exclaiming, Oh, Prince Ivan, why did you disobey me and go looking into the closet and let out Koschei the Deathless. And this ends part 1 of the tale of the death of Koschei the Deathless. Thank you for hearing our tale. If you enjoyed it, please take a look at our Patreon page and learn how you can earn great rewards while also supporting us. Once again, thank you for listening to our story.